Hello again. I cannot pretend to be surprised to learn that the man who ran over and killed a dozen people in the United States has turned out to be a convert to Islam. At the best of times, converts tend, no matter what religion they adopt, to be a little unstable and more prone to extreme beliefs than those who are born into or raised in the faith. This applies, of course, not only to Muslims, but to Buddhists, Catholics, and members of other faiths as well. My first wife was a convert to Judaism, and so I have had ample opportunity to observe this phenomenon in action. Those who have had dealings with Catholic converts will, of course, have noticed that they are often just that little bit more devout than other Catholics. Here's the thing, though. Catholic converts and converts to Judaism or Buddhism are not actually dangerous. They might be annoying or come across as cranks, but you can be pretty sure that they are not likely to go mad and massacre a bunch of people. The worst thing which they are likely to do is pray more often and earnestly than normal folk. The case is quite different though with those who adopt Islam. It does seem also to be particularly so with black people who become Muslims. Not all of them, of course, but enough to make it a definite thing, something which is observable. When I saw that the man who had driven into the crowds in New Orleans was black, I guessed at once that he would be a convert to Islam with a fancy Arabic name, and so it proved. I know that I've spoken about this subject before, but this business about converts, especially Muslim converts, is certainly a thing. When those converts happen to be black men, then there does seem to be a higher chance that they will end up as jihadists. Why do I say this? Well, offhand, I cannot think of any white European converts to Islam who have ended up being prominent terrorists. But one doesn't need to rack one's brains very far to come up with quite a few black people in Britain who do fall into this category. Remember the British terrorists in the Islamic State who were nicknamed the Beatles? They carried out a number of beheadings of hostages. Three of them were black British converts. Richard Reed, the so-called shoe bomber who tried to blow up an airliner over the Atlantic, he was a Jamaican British convert. The men who killed Lee Rigby, both black British converts to Islam. One of the 7/7 bombers in 2005 was also a black British convert. Much the same thing has been seen in the United States with African Americans who convert to Islam. None of this happens, as I say, with people who become Catholics, Buddhists, or Jews. It is a specific thing with black people who convert to Islam. I'm not a psychologist, so I cannot pretend to have any kind of insight into or explanation of what is seen, but that it is seen is certainly the case. Many of us guessed when we first heard of the massacre in New Orleans that Islam might well be involved, and the natural corollary was that the person responsible would probably not be white. Once the photographs emerged of the attacker, everything else fell neatly into place.